The episode begins with Don Chan storming into Ha Young's office and criticizing her for doing nothing after he suddenly disappeared. She responds that she couldn't have done anything and mentions that despite his sudden disappearance, she never stopped expecting to hear from him. She also reveals that she has been waiting for him for the past 20 years and is still single. In the following scene, Don Chang, Hyun Kai, and Hong Suk discuss Murin's compensation demands and if hiring her is a smart idea. To solve the dilemma, Don Chan tells them that they have no other choice other than to let her do what she wants. After the meeting, Don Chan approaches her and offers her a 3-month internship in the Variety Experiments show. Hearing this, Murin discloses that her major goal is to become a variety show director and make new shows. Don Chan appreciates her confidence and changes the subject to their body temperature, asking her if she is feeling something weird with her body. In reply, Murin tells him that she is feeling hot lately and needs to stay cool all the time. After this, Don Chan urges her to keep her body temperature at 31.5 degrees, or else she will have to face a lot of problems. Meanwhile, Murin's parents are concerned about her health and decide to meet Don Chan's family to learn more about the matter. They assume that as Don Chan was frozen in the experiment alongside Murin, he also must have been facing cold body temperature problems. Next, when Don Chan drives out of his house, he becomes aware that he is being followed by 2 mysterious guys in a van. Cleverly, he stops his car in front of them and inquires about the reason for following him. The men pretend to be the delivery guys and refuse to follow Don Chan. Here we get to know that they are actually hired by the mystery man, Lee Seok-do. Later, Don Chan arrives at the laboratory and meets Gi Bam. He then tells Gi Bam that keeping H-Wang at the laboratory is dangerous, as some people are looking for him. Soon later, Murin's parents arrive at Don Chan's family restaurant and meet with his family members. At first, when Murin's mother tells them that she knew about Murin and Dong Chang being alive for the last 20 years, Dong Ju quickly gets enraged and mentions that they should have informed them of the experiment. She also blames her family's misery on them. Seeing this, Murin's father makes it clear that they are there not to fight but to find out the problems of their children. Right then, Don Chan arrives there with the mentally ill Professor H-Wang and introduces him to everyone. At the university, Byung Sim gets the shock of his life when he discovers that he's been teaching his college love Murin this whole time. Meanwhile, his wife, Young Sun, talks to Kyung-ya about her husband and worries about how he would react if he meets Murin at school. On the other hand, Murin's and Don Chan's parents are trapped with the professor and finally agree to take care of H-Wang till he gains back consciousness turn by turn. In the following scene, Don Chan approaches Hong Suk and confronts him for not looking after him and revealing the experiment in public. Hearing this, Hong Suk claims he had no option but to listen to the CEO. However, as a means of keeping him quiet, Hong Suk promises Don Chan to provide him with compensation and his car. After getting the car from Hong Suk, Don Chan arrives at Murin's school and has no idea that he is still being followed by the same 2 guys. Later, he meets Murin and gives her a new smartphone, and also asks her if her pitches for the Variety Experiments show as an intern are ready. Suddenly, Murin's best friends, Young Sun and Kyung-ya, arrive there and are happy to meet handsome Don Chan. Right then, Don Chan gets a call from the detective, informing him that he has failed to find any information about the guys who followed him earlier. Moving on to the next scene, the stalkers continue to pursue Don Chan. When he meets Ha Young, she invites him to dinner, but Don Chan kindly declines, stating that he needs to spend some time with his family. Afterward, while Don Chan is returning home, he meets Murin and confirms her internship. Here he also informs her that Professor H-Wang is spending the night at her house. Hearing this, Murin requests Don Chan to tell her more about how it happened. Don Chan replies to her that he will explain everything on their way to the parking lot. Next, when Don Chan is about to start his car, the stalkers approach him from behind and point a knife at him. Following this, they kidnap Don Chan and Murin and place them inside a frozen food truck, unbeknownst to the fact that they are immune to cold temperatures. After some time driving, the 2 guys decide to stop the truck in a remote area and check on the hostages. To their surprise, Don Chan and Murin are perfectly fine and they manage to outwit their captors and flee. Following this, Murin and Don Chan continue to walk, and after walking for some miles, Murin's body temperature rises and she faints. Don Chan then carries her on his back and rushes to the nearest highway. There, he stops a car and takes Murin to the nearest hospital. As soon as they reach the hospital, Don Chan instructs the doctors to reduce Murin's temperature. Right then, he receives a call from Ha Young, asking him to join her for the live broadcast. In the next scene, Don Chan appears on the news alongside Ha Young, and instead of hiding the fact about the cryonics experiment, he reveals to the public that he is the first person to survive a cryonics experiment. He also mentions that the broadcasting media company had no idea about the experiment he conducted in 1999, and he is the one responsible for it. Dong Chan also mentions that he awoke after 20 years, but is suffering from a side effect: hypothermia, in which the patients must maintain their body temperature of 31.5 degrees. We also discover via a flashback that Professor H. Wang is the only one who can create the antidote to assist them out of their situation. Meanwhile, key political players throughout the world are reacting to the news and planning about recruiting Dong Chan as their party member. On the other hand, Gi Bayam is also interviewed, and he admits that he is the one who resuscitated Dong Chan. To his bad luck, Lee Sok-do is looking at his interview, and he tells his assistant that they need to get rid of Gi Bayam to make sure that the person who looks like him remains in the capsule forever. The following day, when Dong Chan is about to leave his house to go to the office, he gets to know that his family is utilizing his appearance on the TV to advertise their restaurant and to increase their sales. At first, he becomes angry at his mother, but when she tells her that she started the restaurant with the aim to feed him when he returns, he becomes emotional and hugs her. In the morning, the scene shifts to Jae-hoon, the boy who likes Murin and seems to be interested in her. Here, it is revealed that he is none other than Byung Sim's son. Later, Jae-hoon and his friend, Young Jun, arrive in class and sit beside Murin. When they discover that Murin is doing her internship in the media company, Young Jun asks her if she likes the variety show's director, Dong Chan. Hearing this, she instantly responds that he's not his type, much to Jae-hoon's delight. Meanwhile, when Hyun Kai and Hong Suk continue lamenting their lives, Dong Chan arrives there and chastises Hyun Kai for always being at Kim's office instead of working. After sending Hyun Kai away, Dong Chan returns to his cabin and on his way gets confronted by Ha Young. Ha Young asks him why he is ignoring her, and in reply, Dong Chan tells her that he is trying his best to protect her, and also mentions that he does not want to talk more about the matter. Next, Dong Chan meets Murin in the meeting room and presents her with her ID card, officially initiating her new internship. All of a sudden, he checks Murin's body temperature and gives her a biometric watch and a package containing an injection to reduce her body temperature. The scene then shifts to the university where Byung Sim follows Murin and ultimately reveals to Murin that he is the one whom she loved during her youth. He tells her that he wishes he could go back in time and be with her, but sadly, she rejects him and furiously urges him to go lost. He, on the other hand, does not take a no for an answer and forces himself on her, prompting her to tackle him to the ground and beat the shit out of him. As Murin attacked the university professor Byung Sim, she is arrested and taken to the police station. She, however, manages to call Dong Chan and he arrives there to pick her up. After completing the paperwork, he chastises her for her behavior with her university professor. Defending herself, Murin reveals that the professor is none other than Byung Sim, who betrayed her in the past and tried to force himself on her. As soon as Dong Chan hears this, he appreciates Murin for her actions and starts fighting with Byung Sim. Meanwhile, Professor H. Wang is working at Dong Chan's family restaurant when Lee Seok and his associate arrive there to have a meal. Suddenly, when H. Wang sees Lee Seok, he recalls him being preserved in a capsule and runs away from there. On the other hand, while Young Sun is with Kyung-ya at a cafe, she receives a call from her son, informing her that his father misbehaved with a girl at the university and got beaten by her. Sometime later, Murin also walks out of her workplace and joins her friends, explaining to them how she attacked a professor who tried to flirt with her. Hearing this, Young Sun deduces that Byung Sim misbehaved with Murin and walks away from there without telling anything to Murin. After she leaves, Kyung-ya reveals to Murin that after she went missing 20 years ago, Kyung-ya married Byung Sim and also has a son. Later at night, the angry Young Sun can be seen waiting for Byung Sim to arrive home. Soon, when Byung Sim tries to enter the house, Young Sun attacks him and throws him out of the house. Having nowhere to go, Byung Sim visits Kyung-ya and requests her to help him get back with Murin, his true love. Kyung-ya gets shocked after hearing this and wonders how Young Sun spent 20 years with him. In the following scene, Dong Chan and Hyun Kai are at a bar, where Hyun Kai expresses his frustration for being ill-treated by Dong Chan at their workplace. At the same time, the news channel mentions that there must be other people alongside Dong Chan who participated in the cryonics experiment. Hearing this, Dong Chan immediately calls Murin and suggests she stop telling everyone about the experiment. The following day, Ha-yeon receives a proposal to write a story for her news about another lady participating in the experiment. Here, rather than accepting the news, Ha-young dismisses it and suggests her co-worker find some other story. She then immediately goes to meet Dong Chan and informs him about the proposal. She tells him that she wants to start a new relationship with him because they never got to conclude their love story. While the two are talking, Murin suddenly arrives there and after seeing them conversing, walks out surprised. After Murin goes away, Dong Chan replies to Ha-young, stating that he does not want to get back with her and is still angry at her for not doing anything to search for him when he got lost. The scene then shifts to the moment after Murin walked out from Dong Chan and Murin's meeting room, wondering whether Ha Young had been waiting for Dong Chan all along. She then starts crying, mentioning that she didn't have a lover back then and is still single at present. On the other hand, Young Sun informs her son, Jae-hoon, that she is considering divorcing Byung Sim after learning that he fell asleep at Kyeon Ya's house. Jae-hoon appreciates her decision and assures her that he would be there for her no matter what she decides. In the following scene, when Gi Baeum is about to drive his car, he receives a phone call from his colleague, requesting him to go back to their office and get some important papers. Unfortunately, as soon as Gi Baeum exits his car, it explodes into flames, much to his dismay. Next, Murin returns to the office and runs into Dong Chan. He grabs her hand and warns her to keep her heart rate and body temperature in control. He also informs her that he loves one of her project ideas and mentions that they should start working on it soon. Here, Young Sun reveals that she has always admired Byung Sim and will continue to do so, even if he doesn't love her. She also tells Murin that she used to like Byung Sim even before he fell in love with Murin during their college days, and married him when she got pregnant after getting intimate at the graduation party. Afterward, Gi Baeum calls Dong Chan and informs him about his car explosion. Together the two discuss and try to find out the person who could be responsible for the attempted murder. The scene then shifts to Lee Seok-do, who aims a revolver at the hitman for failing to kill Gi Baeum. He then makes it clear to his assistant that at any cost, the person lying in the capsule should not come back to life. In the next scene, the channel's previous president arrives at the station and talks with Hong Suk. He invites him to join his new national party and tells him to utilize Dong Chan's popularity to advance his political career. Hong Seok also agrees to this and immediately takes a picture with Dong Chan. Later, Dong Chan approaches Ha Young and requests her to cover a story about Gi Baeum being attacked and receiving death threats. Surprisingly, she agrees to cover the news and promises to protect him. However, Dong Chan rejects her again, telling her that rather than protecting him, she needs to help her protect Murin. During the work meeting, Dong Chan presents Mai Ran's ideas to everyone, which involves transporting some 40-year-olds back in time by recreating their 20s. Everyone seems to love the idea, and they decide to start working on it. After completing their work at the office, Mai Ran, Dong Chan, and their coworkers end up going to a club and enjoying their time by eating and drinking. Soon, they also get engaged in karaoke, during which Dong Chan performs a love ballad remembering his time with Ha Young. Later, Dong Chan drops Murin at her house and meets her brother, Nam T. Seeing him, Dong Chan recalls the reason why Murin did the experiment in the first place. Following this, Dong Chan arrives at his home and gets to know that his house was going to be confiscated by the bank for not being able to clear the debt in time. Hearing this, he tries to comfort his siblings and assures them that he will take care of everything. The next day, Dong Chan and Murin set out to find the ideal location for filming their new program. Unfortunately, they get lost in the forest, and as the sun rises up, their body temperature also starts rising. At the same time, Murin realizes that she has forgotten her temperature control injection and falls to the ground. Having no other choice, Dong Chan injects her with his injection but loses consciousness in the process. Sometime later, Murin gains back her consciousness and starts crying, thinking that Dong Chan is dead. Fortunately, it starts raining and Dong Chan's body temperature begins to cool down to normal. As soon as Dong Chan comes back to life, she kisses him and collapses in his arms. The episode ends with Dong Chan still surprised, holding Murin in his arms. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like and comment if you think we should make the next part. Thank you.